We continue reading this week from that part of St. Matthew's Gospel that is the Sermon on the Mount. It began day before yesterday with the 8 Beatitudes and continues today. And this particular section of the sermon provides a very much needed and healthy corrective to an attitude that many people have, an attitude that is almost for them an unwritten law. And that is, don't sweat the small stuff. And it's all small stuff. Jesus, in this part of the Sermon on the Mount, tells us, whoever breaks one of the least of these commandments and teaches others to do so will be called least in the kingdom of heaven. Whoever obeys and teaches these commandments will be called greatest in the kingdom of heaven. In other words, none of it is small stuff. It all needs to be taken into account. Don't cut corners. Don't bend the rules. We find something similar in the writings of that great doctor of the church, Saint Therese of Lisieux, sometimes called the Little Flower. In her writings, she speaks of the little way. That means that we should live our lives doing well, even the little things. Again, don't cut corners, don't bend the rules. We see this further in, astonishingly, of all places, the code and core values of the United States Air Force. The three core values of the Air Force are integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all we do. In other words, in everything, great and small, excellence in all we do. So we see three sources all converging together, saying the same thing. The gospel, whoever breaks one of the least of these commandments and teaches others to do so will be called least in the kingdom of heaven. Saint Therese of Lisieux and her little way, and that core value of the U.S. Air Force, excellence in all we do. Don't sweat the small stuff? I don't think so. Because none of it is small stuff. Don't cut corners, don't bend rules. Thus we are told by the gospel. Thus we are told by Therese of Lisieux, doctor of the church, and thus we are told by the U.S. Air Force. Who would think those three people, those three groups would converge and tell us the same thing? Enough said. Please rise.